Welcome to Cyclops is Waiting for Me, an X-Men animated recap podcast with X-Men 97, Season 2, Episode 5, titled Weapon X Lies in DVDs. I am JC, and then before we get into everything, I just have to bring up, as we got into the tail end of the last recording, I forgot to point out, like, one of my favorite, like, little tidbits from that post-credit scene, which was, if you watch it, like, and pay real close attention, Wolverine pops his claws because Black Widow scared him, which is just like that great super detail that she's that good of a spy that she was able to sneak up on Logan.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even notice that
touch that they added. Yeah,
I didn't know. That's funny. It's also kind of cute that Wolverine gets spooked. He's like, it's like a cat, you know, when you catch them off guard. Like,
yeah, and the claws pop out and his hair gets all spiky and stuff. Yeah. And then I gave in, and yesterday there was a drop from the company Agoro, and I might be saying the name wrong. I don't really care personally because they're not sponsoring me, but they're doing these limited edition blind boxes that it is either on a piece of silver or gold for the like 6 different X-Men characters and stuff like that. Rod, take a look at where my package is from the map right now.
Oh, wait, is this in New Zealand?
It's in, like, Auckland right now, yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's in the South Pacific Ocean. This is what...
Yep.
It's funny. And it's not even halfway.
It's like literally at a building in Auckland right now. So.
Which is a little status bar at the bottom. Is just like... So who knows where else it's going to get routed to.
Oh, yeah, that's going to go to 4 different states and multiple countries before I even touch it, so it's fine.
All right. Well, at least the tariff thing's over now, so like, I'm still waiting to get my refund back from FedEx for the tariffs I paid for this shirt,
literally
actually.
Never happening. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it was that shirt.
It was this shirt and some shorts and stuff, but it was like, yeah, like, I literally paid them 3 days before the tariffs got lifted.
Yeah, you got screwed.
Anyway, and I'm Rod. Yeah, and I got screwed. And... Cyclops is Waiting for Me is our podcast series where we're going back and watching every single X-Men animated episode we can find. This podcast started with the original 1992 X-Men, the animated series, building up to the release of X-Men 97 Season 1. Since then, we've completed X-Men Evolution, Wolverine and the X-Men, and the X-Men anime, but we are back weekly for all of X-Men 97 Season 2. I will say, this episode specifically felt most like the Marvel anime series, the X-Men anime series to me. Where it was like, we're going to be in a room.
And it's fucking brutal, like, violence the entire time.
Yeah, and also there's, like, quite a bit of, like, anime, like elements in it. But it's mostly that it was, like, yeah, it's brutal, but it was, like, they're kind of in a closed space. You know, actually, this would have made... It had this... I kind of wonder if it was up in the air when all these episodes were going to air, because it feels like this would have been a perfect, like, Halloween or, like, October episode or something, you know? Because there was, like, a lot of horror movie references and stuff.
Yeah, we'll get into it, but there was a lot of horror movie references in this episode, absolutely.
Yeah, and I don't even watch horror movies, and I recognize them, so they're pretty loud, you know?
Some quick reminders. We're a recap show about an episode that isn't even a week old yet. There are going to be spoilers, and if you don't want it spoiled for you, pause the podcast, watch the episode, and come back. Don't say we didn't warn you. Funny anecdote. The Facebook group that I am in that revolves around X-Men, I'm in like 3. One of them has no moderation whatsoever, and it's fucking hilarious. The other one puts a 24-hour cap on spoilers, so all posts need to be approved before they go live to make sure that nobody's spoiling it for people who don't have that 24-hour. And similar to last year, some people have made the point of saying, wow, you guys can't even wait 2 days for other people to watch it, and you're ruining it for us. If you can't watch this show within 2 days, don't go on the internet or mute the group for 40 days, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you at that point, honestly.
It's kind of unfortunate. Whether I think it's right or wrong, I just kind of assume that if I'm not there, like, the very first showing of something or whatever, like, I'm kind of, like, at risk, right? You know?
Dude,
like,
I mean...
Spider-Man, we're going to see it, like, later, like, in the evening, but I have a ticket for noon. Because I know that, like...
You're the safe one, yeah.
Yeah, but even now, though, like, I know that there's already been, like, an influencer trip to, like, New York or something. And I'm afraid to click on those because they're showing pictures of, like, the screenplays and, like, props and stuff. I'm like, what? What are you guys doing?
To be fair, a lot of the Marvel movies get mostly ruined by the toys. The toys ruin everything in advance. Like the Ant-Man becoming Giant Man in Civil War was ruined for me because of a Lego set.
Yeah, I also heard that there's I don't know if it's McDonald's, but there's some like Happy Meal that ruined Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I was like, I'm not gonna look that direction, but that's wild. Like,
this is not me spoiling it for you. I don't know if it's legitimate, but I think the McDonald's spoiler revolves around Sadie Sink's character.
Yeah, that's kind of what I kind of guessed that, but like I don't want to see anything, you know. Like I think we all kind of assume we know what she is. It's like the open secret, but it's weird that she's on the press tour and not be able to say anything.
It's really weird to be able to be like, so what character do you play? I can't tell you that. Why are you here? I can't tell you that.
And you can tell that the interviewers are all like prepped because they're like,
don't ask
even though
and get in trouble
because they're like, they don't ask her, and they're also like, even though I can't, you know, we can't get into it or something like that. Like, how was it working with these people? You know, and she's just like, fun. You know, move on to Zendaya.
What power did you use on these people? It'd be great if they just like didn't give her those pages of the script and they like ADR'd it like 3 days before the movie comes out. And then you just come to that kind of scenario.
And did you see the news that Marvel's moving their comic offices to Burbank?
Yes, I did. That came out as of recording. That came out today. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it's a good thing for Marvel Studios to be in like one united place. Scenario. Also, so many like artists do not need to live in New York City, because the whole reason for like the original comic office was they had the literal bullpen. So it was like everybody was working in different cubicles and offices, and the second art became digital and became remote, it's like, oh no, have your dope little studio and draw in your house. Like, you don't need to go into those. So if you just need to move like the accounting team or like even the editorial team, move them to Burbank. Have it be a shit ton cheaper than commuting into New York every day.
Yeah, I kind of wondered are you saying the artists aren't moving to Burbank?
No, because 90% of the artists probably aren't even going into the office ever. So.
Oh, gotcha. Because I was actually kind of wondering how, like, if that over time, if that stays that way for a long time, if that will kind of shift the Marvel comics more like West Coast based. You know, because when I think as an outsider, when I think of Marvel comics, I think of New York. You know, for a lot of stuff. And when you see like Disney, like Pixar movies and stuff, there's a lot of like Burbank iconography because those studios are literally across the street from like the Safari Inn and things. I was just kind of wondering if the artists are out here, like, is the Hulk suddenly going to move to WeHo and like, going to Idle Hour for a drink,
valid, because there is the we've talked about the X-Terminators run from X-Men that I love so much, and like literally the bars that they're going to are West Hollywood bars in that story. So but yeah, most of the writers and the teams, like, they could be remote with the modern workplace, so I don't think it has a material impact on it, other than they're not spending the money to have an office in New York, which is definitely more expensive than what they're going to be spending in Burbank on like the probably adjacent to the lot that they're already spending millions of dollars on anyway.
There's probably an extra building on the Disney lot that's not being used.
There's always an extra building on the Disney lot.
Yeah.
So and speaking of all of that, we are not currently sponsored by or affiliated with Marvel Animation, Disney, or Disney Plus in any way.
It's called an alley-oop.
I mean,
and don't forget to follow us on social media at Cyclops IWFM Pod on Instagram, Threads, and Facebook.
So, before we get into the episode, I got to, last night at Scum and Villainy, meet Teddy Sears, who is the voice of Havoc. For those who don't know, Teddy has done live action stuff, and in the Flash series, he was actually Jay Garrick and Zoom as characters before. So he's more in the live action world than being a voiceover guy. Very tall. Definitely taller than almost all the other actors on the X-Men voice cast, honestly.
Wow.
Nice guy too. Got to give him one of our pins. He signed my cover, which after San Diego Comic-Con, I will post a new picture with all the updated signatures on it. He signed it right over Cyclops' face because Ray Chase signed under Cyclops' face. So I was like, yeah, just sign here. This cover is more signature than artwork at this point anymore. So just go for it.
That's fine. It fits the knockoff Cyclops comment, right?
So the question that they because they do like their own like Kevin from Digital LA asked a few questions and it's like, oh, open up to the audience. And my question was, what has your favorite nickname that the internet has given you? He goes, I actually haven't heard any yet. What is your favorite? And I was like, well, Timu Cyclops. So. And he didn't punch me in the face, so I guess we're good.
It's so funny how like times update that term, because I feel like when I was a kid it was like Walmart somebody, and then like like it was like dollar store or Walmart, and then I think like before us, like our parents, it was like dime store or like drugstore something,
Yeah. And then also by time of release, because this is coming out the Monday before Comic-Con, we just want to make sure people know there are going to be some X-Men, the animated series related panels. There's going to be one off-site that is run by Megaran, if people know who he is. That Isaac, Guy, Larry, JP, and I believe how you pronounce her name is Zara, who is the Emma Frost voice actor, alongside our friend Jonathan London from Geekscape. I believe that's at the San Diego Library, but go on their socials, and that's the best way to do it. And then at Comic-Con later in that day, also Saturday, there's going to be a X-Men fandom panel that will have Lenore, Guy, Holly, Carolina, who is the voice of Polaris, alongside the Newton brothers, put on by our friends over at Giant Size Productions. And they are doing signings on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday is 3 to 4:30, and then Sunday is 1 to 3 p.m. So, yeah.
Very cool.
So I need to add Emma and Polaris to the cover now. So
yeah, that'll be cool. Rod will be staying at home like usual.
Rod will be avoiding the chaos. This is my vacation. Everybody's, are you going to have a relaxing vacation? I'm like, I'm going to be at Comic-Con. I'm going to have the opposite of a relaxing vacation.
But you really, that's your community and your world. And like, I like the stories and stuff, but man, it's a lot. Yeah, and I have like invites to things, but it's just...
I'm a psychopath. I get what you're saying. It's fine.
No, I mean, I go to NAMM, so like, I get going to chaos,
Yeah. Yeah, but if you see me at Comic-Con, please say hi. I'm nice, I swear, despite... me on this podcast.
Tell me your favorite pun.
If you tell me your favorite pun, I won't be nice. Joe Russo, do not text me your favorite pun. But finally getting into it, it wasn't that bad for the amount of like preamble stuff that was in the script today. Today we are talking about season 2, episode 5, titled Weapon X Lies in DVDs. It originally aired on July 15th of 2026. Currently sits at an 8.0 star rating on IMDb. Rod, before we get into it, initial thoughts about this episode.
I know this I've heard like people online, not liking this because it's like what they consider a bottle episode or something, like a little side story. After watching this though, like I think like I mentioned before, it feels like the closest to like the anime story of X-Men anime, where it's like it's in like a box essentially. But I like stories like this because it makes the world feel bigger if they're done well. So like. The joke about Star Wars is like, oh, this unending galaxy that only has to do with the Skywalker family. Yes. And this is like, while they're waiting on Bishop to get Xavier and everything back, like Wolverine's on his little side mission to get his claws back. My only like little thing I wish would be different is like, we're in this shorter run season era, right? Or it's probably this way permanently, but.
We're sticking to 8 to 10 episodes per season is my prediction for the rest of this series.
Or just in TV in general. But like back in the day there'd be like 20 or like with kids shows like there'd be like 60 episodes a season or something like that. So like it feels like Wolverine just lost his claws, even though that happened 2 years ago. but in the run of like, we're halfway through the season already, so it makes sense for him to get him back.
I agree with that part. There's a lot of the discourse online that I do not agree with, where they were like, blah, 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 too many people are dying or whatever. And it's like, fucking who cares about Kane dying, realistically? But
there are a lot of people dying. That's kind of funny.
But what I don't like, I do wish that like we got more time for him with the bone claws to breathe. Like, and this is all without context of like what the rest of the season is. What is the big point they need to get to at the end of the season? Like setting up a big character, setting up the fight with Apocalypse, stuff like that. Where if he still had the bone claws, it would be fucked. Kind of scenario. So I think that's the like saying it out of context. I don't know the why, but all that said, I do wish that there was like, give me 3 episodes like in the modern day where he still has the bone claws, and like why does he feel like to an extent like he feels like emasculated like by some of the reactions of like the Team X people of like, oh, he's got his little like little pot stickers right now.
Because the thing is, like, if it had like, say this was like a 22 episode season, it would probably feel like more satisfying, because he would probably get him back in like episode 11 or 12 or something, so
we would have had a third of the season where he didn't have the claws.
So like it's not really like the show's fault. Like I'm sure there's like a Disney mandate of like you get 9 episodes or something, or and not just for this show, but just like any show. You look at any, like, I'm watching Foodtopia now, right? The Sausage Fest or Sausage Party like offshoot show, and even that has like, they're 20-minute episodes. They only have like 8 episodes a season, which is kind of crazy to me for like an animated show. I'm used to animated shows having like 30 episodes a season or something.
So that is one of the good parts of anime, is there's just massive amounts of episodes. If you really like the show, there's a lot of shit for you to consume. So no, that's kind of my vibe on it, is like, I really like this episode. Like, this episode is a solid like 8.5 for me as well, because we don't do half scores on IMDb. I think I gave it a 9 because I think an 8 is too low, and I'd rather skew the average back up on it, kind of scenario. So
because it was a fun. If nothing else, it was fun to see that group on like a weird mission together, and also to see the Brood, because we didn't get them in the original show.
Which let's get into now, because now we're just going to be hopping around to a bunch of random shit. So the previously on is Morph's voice. You get Magneto pulling the adamantium out of Wolverine, Morph next to Wolverine as he's passed out in the bed, and then you get sad everybody back at the base, because it feels like half of the teams have failed, and then finally the Captain America with the folder, we're getting the band back together, which then goes into the animated open, which has the full team, and for the first time ever, we got Forge in the team lineup too.
Who has arguably one of the more ridiculous like intros, because I know everybody else has like powers and stuff, but he has like these like Who Framed Roger Rabbit guns
as he's shooting off of the Blackbird.
It's great though.
You do get a quick little Team X flashback, which we didn't see in the original show, or if we did, it was so brief in that Weapon X Lies and videotape one. I don't remember them running with a blonde with them in any of those shots. You get I always forget the name of the episode, but it's the one where Wolverine runs away to Alaska and Sabretooth and him fight in the snow.
Oh, yeah.
From season 1 But you get the shot there. You get a kiss between Wolverine and then Deathstrike before her transformation and stuff like that. Going into the episode itself, I couldn't identify what that song was that was at the beginning on the helicopter or jet or whatever.
I haven't been able to like confirm with them, but on IMDb it credits the song as "Baby Come Home" by the Newton Brothers. So I'm assuming it's a sound-alike song that they composed, but I also don't know who's singing or anything like that. Also, it was kind of hard for me to hear. I don't know if it's just my setup or the way they mixed it. But I'm assuming because of the shot they were doing some sort of like, I don't even want to say sounded like some placeholder song for Fortunate Son,
That was my vibe on it too.
Because that's the kind of song that would play during that like chopper war scene or whatever. But I don't know. Like, I guess maybe at Comic-Con, that's going to be one of the questions the guys answer is like, was that a song that you had to come? You know, they need. Because I don't think have we had a needle drop in this season yet. I don't think we've had one yet.
Yeah, we had the Baruch Assault song.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So maybe they used it up already. You know, because like last season there was only really one. I think, right? It was the Ace of Base song.
That was the only one that I could think of off the top of my head.
That's the only one I remember. So I'm assuming the show doesn't get like a really like super high. I mean, I guess Justine, but like I don't. I'm assuming they don't get like a super high music. budget,
yeah, like you're going to get a music budget for one song. Use it properly.
Yeah, for like that type of music, like the score. I'm sure the New Brothers are taking care of, but like to get like a really well known
licensing songs. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll have to ask about that, but.
Then the next comment I have is Garrison Kane sucks. I hope he dies.
You know what's funny? I didn't ever know his first name was Garrison. I just know Kane, the action figure with the rocket hand. So I think my brother had him.
I knew about Kane because there is a really well-known X-Force cover where it's him and Deadpool fighting each other. And that's like the only time that I've ever seen him. He... in the comics died in like 2003, I want to say. So he was in a book I wasn't reading when he originally came out, and then he died before I came back to comics, and I'm glad he's gone.
It's funny though, like they did this scene really well though, because there's always that guy in these army scenes, right? That's like kind of misogynist or racist or something. He's like shooting his mouth off, and everyone else is like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. So you get some interaction with Maverick also being there, Sabretooth, Deathstrike, and she's not putting up with any of their shit. Also, I like how it's like, this is the Team X, which is a little bit retconny, considering in the original Weapon X lies and videotapes, it was Silver Fox who was the part of the team, and nobody really talked about Lady Deathstrike there. They were just it's like they kind of fit her into what became the more popular continuity. But because her dad was a part of the whole like adamantium bonding process that made her like, it made sense for her to be there. And then you know, Silver Fox is just like, I don't give a shit. I'm not putting up with any of your crap right now for a group. And then Maverick is kind of just like, look, it's just like old times. The band is back together.
Is Maverick, I forget, is he Canadian in this show?
I don't remember what heritage Maverick has, but he has a very specific accent.
I was gonna say, it sounded kind of Scandinavian or Swedish. You know, because I only say that because he says the word crazy, and I make fun of my Swedish friends all the time for the way they pronounce crazy. Because it's the accents on the A is like, crazy. You know, or if anybody ever watches PewDiePie, he's always like, that's crazy. Like... So I was like,
Maverick is originally from Germany.
Oh, German. Okay, there you go.
Specifically, unrevealed location in former East Germany, if that makes any difference.
Gotcha. Some of my Swedish friends would come after me for that.
I do believe, and apologies if I'm getting this wrong, that it is the same voice actor who did Maverick in Wolverine and the X-Men, though, actually.
Oh, nice. Oh, and speaking of voice actors, about Deathstrike.
Oh, yeah. Congrats to Erika Ishii for living Rod's dream of being in both Mortal Kombat and the X-Men at this point.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know, Erika is also the voice of Sector in the Mortal Kombat 1 game, which is mind-blowing, because they gender swapped Sector and Cyrax in the Mortal Kombat 1, and which was cool. I think it's fine. It's robots. It's cool. It's whatever. Just make the character cool. But what a cool thing to do, because like that's something that would genuinely have been like impossible at the inception of Mortal Kombat, right? Like it's like, oh, why would Erika be the voice of Sector? You know, and now it's perfect. You know, and then also Deathstrike. And I think Erika posted on Instagram or something that this was like years in hiding.
Yeah,
so that's crazy.
Something alluding to that she's been like waiting to be able to talk about it for like 2 years, basically.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Run in like crossover circles with Erika, and they're awesome, and immediately sent a congratulations message to them for that, because And by immediately, I mean the next day, not at 1 o'clock
at midnight
when I watched the episode. Yes.
Yeah, I ran into Erica at I won't say the bar, but a bar that like a lot of us like end up at out here a while back, and I was like, I remember last time I saw you was like 2018. But congrats, like a lot has happened for you since.
Yeah, right. Then you start to get so much of Morph's personality in this episode, like as they're co-piloting. And he's seeing all the interactions with Lady Deathstrike and everybody. He's like, damn, and I thought you and Jean were toxic for each other.
Yeah, that was great. And also, so that was great. My favorite one, of course, because everybody knows me and like Wolverine and Sabretooth, was when Morph was like, you and Sabretooth, you're on again, off again.
Will they, won't they?
Won't they?
Kill each other.
I was like, yeah,
as
that's what we
Sabretooth is man-spreading, by the way.
Yeah, and like scratching
like he is like the most like, I am going to have my legs so far spread as I'm taking up the back seat of this helicopter right now.
It was pretty, because I know that they're all there to like kill Dr. Cornelius, but it's like, what a wild group of people to be like. I guess Kane and Maverick I don't know so much about, but like to have Deathstrike and Sabretooth in the same like plane as Wolverine, just sitting there, like, it's crazy.
Well, in the implication is in this one that all of them were members of Team X at some point, so
yeah,
they all have an axe to grind against Cornelius. So Maverick is usually reasonable, but he also falls in the line of like, who's paying me the most is I don't have affiliation the second a check comes in kind of scenario.
Yeah. Like Emma Frost.
And at least this good version of Emma, absolutely. Yeah. And then there's the moment of, well, why are you here? And Morph is kind of like alluding to, his feelings to Logan of like, well, you were giving me like puppy dog eyes, and then had to explain what puppy dog eyes were to Logan.
Yeah, by turning into him.
Sabretooth comes over, gives a little bit of shit talk, refers to Morph as his ex-pet, and then Morph shoots back at Sabretooth and basically calls his outfit roadkill.
Yeah, which is kind of funny that that's the thing that hurt his feelings.
He gets upset enough to the point where he said damn. So yeah he took it personally. But before anything else could happen, birds start crashing into the copter, and they're hitting it so hard that the like back end of the helicopter blows up.
Yeah,
that seems extreme.
Well, so yeah. Well, at first I wrote down mutant birds. We obviously found out later they're not mutants, but then it got me thinking, like, in a world where they're like mutants is designated to like superpowered people, what would they call things that we would call in our world mutants? Like mutated birds. Yeah. But I was dying at this scene last night watching, because I got back from a friend's birthday party really late, so I watched this like 1 a.m, and this scene happened, and then blacked out when the chopper crashed, and you just see Morph walking around. I was like, dude, it'd be hilarious if it was like Deadpool and the X-Force, and then it cut over to Kane. I was like, oh my god, I thought they were gonna do it, that they just kill all of them off.
I love nobody acknowledges that Kane is dead. It's just like Morph is aware of it, and everybody probably like walked by and didn't even turn to check on him. Like, he may have actually survived another however long, but nobody gave a fuck about him. Yeah,
I guess that was the reason establishing in the beginning, like talking shit and stuff.
Yeah,
like, oh, we don't like this guy anyway.
I have a theory. This is not the clip, because I don't want to deal with his fans on Instagram. I think that this was a subtle fuck you to Rob Liefeld.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Because Kane came from all of the X-Force stuff that Rob was working on, and we also knew there's going to be the Deadpool cameo later. So it's kind of like, if he wants to start going on his little like ranty tangents about Marvel fucking him over and stuff like that, they also killed one of his characters at the beginning of the level, so it's kind of like a little subtle, like, sorry, bro.
That's funny. And it also just reminded me, even like at the end of the episode, when they're recapping everyone they lost, they don't even mention him.
Nobody cares.
That's great.
Nobody cares. Deathstrike says like 6 times in the tail end of the episode, Maverick is dead. Maverick is dead. Like... Maverick is... Nobody gives a shit about Kane. Nobody.
That was funny.
Yeah. Imagine being that unlikable that they're like, oh, we want you to come on this mission with us so we can kill this dude. And then they're just like, and he died and nobody cared.
Yeah.
So Maverick and Deathstrike pop up out of stuff. They find one of these like weird mutant bird corpses, and then the bear pops out and Morph becomes Sasquatch from Alpha Flight in a very weird color, because that is not normally the color of Sasquatch. Normally the color is like more of an orange tint, or white. It's like they're depending on who is Sasquatch at the time.
Yeah.
But the weird mauve purple thing, I don't. Whatever coloring, it just, that was one of the other things on Discourse that I saw online today of like, oh yeah, that has never been the color I've seen that character. So
I also love that, and I don't know if they thought this much into it or not, but you know, I know usually we're not supposed to, like in the original series, we're not supposed to think too much about details like this, but I'm like, Morph had to met these people, you know, to turn into them. But then,
or at the very least, like read a bio from them and stuff.
But then in this iteration, Morph is turning into like all like Wolverine related people, so it feels like it's like to reinforce like Morph's obsession with Logan. You know, like that's what's on top of their mind.
Oh yeah, that's true, because
instinct, you know what I mean?
Because like 3 of his transformations are Alpha Flight. Then you have Silver Samurai. You have Spider-Man, where there's this ongoing like friend relationship between Spider-Man and Logan, and then Deadpool. Everybody knows that Deadpool, at least in the modern version, is obsessed with Logan. So yeah, that's actually really astute.
I think what really did it for me was Silver.
Even the Thing is one of his partners that he plays poker with.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that. But like, I think the thing that what really got me was Silver Samurai. I was like, in what context would Silver Samurai be top of mind for Morph? Right. You know, especially in a scene like when it happens. We'll talk about when it happens, but it's like it's not like necessarily like a battle sequence. You know, so like I don't know. It's kind of cute, especially in the context of the episode. I think I saw JP, the voice actor for Morph, comment on this on Instagram or something, saying that like this is always going to be unrequited because it has nothing to do with Logan's sexuality. It's just that Logan is in love with Jean Grey, so Logan will always be unattainable, and that's the reason. Like,
so that fight happens, lots of stabbing happens, and eventually Sabretooth rejoins the group, puts the bear in the headlock, and then breaks its neck.
Yeah.
Then he gives a "see, isn't it great that I'm always better than you" line to Logan, because he's the one that takes out the bear. But that is where he sees that Logan has the bone claws, and everybody's pretty shocked about it since it's something that can't be reversed.
And then is it at that point that Morph gives like a look, like they start getting suspicious of why they're there?
At that point, that is when Morph tells the alphas to calm down.
Oh, I remember that part. Yeah, and that's a double meaning, right? Like, I mean, alpha males, but they're Alpha Flight, right?
Sabretooth hasn't been Alpha Flight, so I don't know if that part was an intentional double
entendre. Gotcha, okay. So it was just the alpha male thing. Okay, got it.
Yep. Then Deathstrike starts to mention that it must be some kind of infection. Sabretooth comments about, like, the smell of all of it, and Wolverine points out here that it is a new smell.
So we know it's not what was it? Was it the colony? Was in the original series?
Yes, that was the colony.
Okay. So they're establishing there it's like not that.
It's not something that at the very least comes to front of mind for him yet. So
yeah.
Then they get to the base. It's completely ransacked. There's just blood, disaster all over, and there is the open gate that has like the wind like coming out of it, which I haven't watched it in forever, but I believe that is a direct reference to The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing.
I would assume so, because like the Thing appears, not that thing, but Marvel's Thing appears in this episode.
And then there's lots of references, especially like being in the ducks and stuff like that, to Alien, especially the early Alien movies.
So the funny part, right before they go into the tunnel here, it goes to commercial break. Once again, I have the ad service.
Yes.
But what was really funny was like when the Dave's Hot Chicken commercial came on, I realized that all the clips from the Dave's Hot Chicken commercial come from this episode.
Really?
So
They're all this episode?
I think so. I mean, I watched it in the moment, but like it was, it like they show the meal, you know, that has the toys with it, and it cuts to Wolverine being like, "Us doesn't smell like, you know, smells like something or whatever," and that's from this episode, and then like it cuts. Yeah, there you go. Oh, you got all of them. Nice.
Yes. At my birthday, Kevin. I think Kevin bribed one of the people at Dave's Hot Chicken to make sure I got Gene to finish out the.
Oh, nice! I got you a gift certificate so you could have another shot at it.
Yeah, it'll get put to use.
And then later there's that clip where it's like I'm back, you know, and he's like he has the comic book cover. So that's in the Dave's Hot Chicken commercial. That's so funny that it just like I guess it makes sense because they want to use Wolverine's come from this episode, but it's like. All right, that's kind of. I like just saw some of the scene and then it happened.
It's also great that they have a future Wolverine, Storm, Cyclops, and Jean, and they take all the clips from the modern day Wolverine only episode.
Yeah, and then randomly, this is a side note. There was a commercial for Disney Christmas packages. Which I was like, wow, that's early. But at the same time, it's like, I guess there's probably some study showing that this now is when families are planning their Christmas trips to Disney. I don't know.
Oh, for trips? Yeah, because you want to start like getting tickets while they're cheap and stuff, I guess. So.
I guess, yeah. Anyway, but they thought chicken commercial was like really funny. He's like, I just saw this clip. Oh.
Yep. I noted there's a very sick elevator transition. Where the elevator was like the wipe for the transition shot, which we don't get a lot of wipes in modern TV storytelling. So that was actually really, really cool.
Yeah, and especially using like not a prop, but like something in the setting to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Then Maverick pulls up the map showcasing what's around. Wolverine's like, Morph wants to leave and already get out of there, and Wolverine's like, nope, we're here, we got to do a job, that's what we got to do first. Still hasn't alluded to the fact that he's going to be going for his adamantium yet. He's still very focused on the Cornelius stuff. And in the middle of the map, like, I thought originally it was supposed to be Cornelius, but I now, having rewatched it, think that the dot in the middle of the map was the life signs for Omega Red. That's actually what it was intended to be.
I didn't put that together.
And the Cornelius stuff was a misdirect.
Yeah, because he was already possessed or whatever by the Brood.
Yeah, let's go with possessed. Yeah.
I like Deathstrike's. Like Deathstrike says like, "What's this?" But her delivery of that kind of reminds me of like if a cat were a person, they'd be like, "What's this?"
It's like she actually still needs to make contact with the dot. Yeah,
he's a red dot. What's this?
And then you start getting a little bit of this reference to a character Tomo, which I was not familiar with from Japanese folklore and stuff. So I thought that was interesting. She started laying the seeds there.
So this was interesting. Is I didn't know what Tomo was either, but then when she explained what it was, like I did know this Fox character because once again the merging of my fandoms. So the Fox. The name of the fox was Tomo, but the mythological creature of the fox is Kitsune. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right because I'm not Japanese.
You are.
But Kitsune, it was the original name for katana in Mortal Kombat. So that's how I know that lore. And then they turned it into katana, when after the fact. So as I'm familiar with the fox lore, I just didn't know that specific character. So that was a fun little Easter egg.
Then you start seeing dead soldiers, dead doctors, and the first doctor who's like fully like splayed out and has his face clearly recognizable. That is Anthony Salitti, who is the writer from the episode.
Oh, that's so great.
The doctor that they like focus on him being mangled, that is Anthony.
Yeah.
So
that's so great because like I like that moment because my note for that moment was like I love the choir sting that happens. It's a classic horror movie, like like. Mm-hmm. And so good, good on Newton Brothers or Lily, whoever worked on that specific cue. That was like effective. But I love the comedic timing of like Maverick just like not even looking and handing Morph a gun.
Yes, I love the subtlety of that. Like okay, Morph was going into this without a weapon other than his own powers, and Maverick has like enhanced healing and stuff like that, which we'll get into later. But the fact that he's just like Here you go. You see a bunch more dead scientists. Sabretooth stabs one of them in the back and sniffs its blood. And then I love that you have this moment between Morph and Sabretooth where it's like, oh, I almost didn't believe that Graydon Creed was your kid, but now I start to see the resemblance. And then Sabretooth's reaction is essentially, I should have murdered that asshole when I had the chance.
So that means when they dropped off Graydon to Sabretooth, he didn't kill him? So he's still out there somewhere?
I think that's what it's implying. Yeah.
So what did he do to him?
I mean, he probably just tortured and beat the shit out of him and made him into an even bigger bigot, probably.
I was saying, that feels like a story seed for like another season.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because
it felt very intentional.
Yeah, it's a very strange comment to make out of nowhere. It's like, I should have killed him when I had a chance. It's like, wait a minute, you didn't? That's what they implied when you dropped him off.
Mm-hmm. At that point, the entire team sees Dr. Cornelius, and they do like the really cool lighting effects where his glasses are just a reflection, things like that. And he's kind of like shit talking the entire team. His voice starts to change, and then he makes like a reference to their value to the Queen, and then he starts to like sweat and laugh at the same time, and then throws up green all over Sabretooth.
Yeah. And also, aren't the light glasses, isn't that an anime villain trope too? So that was like supposed to be like the sign.
I think we've referenced this in the past, but I don't know if it's formally a trope, but I know the dad from Evangelion, who's like a massive piece of shit, like you never see through his glasses, like when he gets like big reveal moments. So yeah.
Because we're both in. Well, you're in the cosplay world. I have friends in the cosplay world and stuff. And like, when I go shopping sometimes with some friends, like I see like they make glasses that do that like effect. They have like lights or something in them, and it said something like anime villain. And so I was like, oh, that's a kind of a cool. If like the eyes are supposed to be the gateway to the soul, then like if you can't see in them, then they're they have no soul.
So ends up, there's a bunch of these brood that are all over. We're just calling them the brood now. We don't need to pretend we don't know what the fuck they are. Deathstrike gets snagged, and then Morph kills like 3 brood in a row by turning into Puck from Alpha Flight, pinballing himself, and then in between the last pinball to the final brood, he turns into the Thing. And hearing JP give the interview at Scum, he was actually the one doing those like he didn't call them grunts. I forgot what the phrasing is, but like exertions of energy. He is the one who is doing those for that character, because Morph is very much like an elevated version of his voice, but when he's doing the Thing exertion voice or noises, like that's JP doing those too. So
that's fun. What context would Morph like have Puck at top of mind? If it wasn't for Logan.
Yep. And then at that point, Wolverine realizes that the smell is something that he has smelled before, which is the colony from that Rogue and Cody episode from the original 92 series.
He said like similar but different, right? Is that how he worded it?
Yeah, similar smell, yes. So I think that's to kind of give the I don't want to say conclusion, but like tie into why the colony was there, because they couldn't use the brood in the original show because the brood was going to be too violent. And this was the way of like, oh, it's like a subspecies. Because even like the Akanti, the space whales and stuff like that, those were tied with the brood at one point. So they had to give some level of connectivity between them. And then...
And he kind of flirts with Deathstrike.
Well, because in the Deathstrike episode with the Reavers and the Morlocks, that was when she was dealing with that... I forget the name of the entity, but it was the one that was like sucking power out of everybody and things like that. So he's like, we're just going to go for another invasion. So
yeah, this is our second one.
Yep. And then Wolverine's solution is we need to go deeper. We need to get out of here. There's the vehicle bay, and then the other team needs to reboot the servers. And Sabretooth starts to suspect that Wolverine has actually, like, to an extent, been infected already.
Yeah. And then they all turn on each other.
Yeah, a lot of mistrust. Like, Deathstrike is like, well, you weren't with us when the crash happened. And then Maverick has a gun at the back of Deathstrike. And that very much feels like the Thing as well. because the whole question was who's infected, who is the thing.
Yeah, that's really cool. Even just like, this is why I said like this would be in a great like October Halloween episode, because it's like a horror movie, not trope, but you know, it's one of those cool things that would happen like Stranger Things or something.
Yeah. So they end up having to split up where Deathstrike, Morph, and Sabretooth go together. Maverick is still like, this is great, this is just like old times. Like he's actually enjoying all of this right now. And you get another one of the Tomo references. Sabretooth is following his nose. You get the explanation of Tomo being this magic fox that could could shape shift. That's a great one. Thanks, Rod. Could shape shift and was in love with the samurai, or followed a samurai, and it didn't end up going well for them. And I love that because we always know that like Wolverine falls into that like samurai character architecture and everything like that. So it's not even subtle what Deathstrike is implying with all this. So, and
also Wolverine's past relationships don't have a great track record. So
her being one of them,
yeah. Part of you kind of wonders if Deathstrike's like, listen, you don't want this to go well, because
so a lot of the memes in the last like 24 hours are like Morph and Deathstrike in just different scenes, and it's just like girl.
I can see
like that. It's like 4 different shots where that is all what the captions are.
Yeah, it's like, listen, you don't want this man.
And then I love this like little throwaway from Sabretooth where he basically finds some cables, plugs them in together, turns the whole room on, and he mentions that he stopped counting birthdays at 200. So he's like, the whole way you stay alive is you learn technology along the way.
Of course, he's a tech bro.
I mean, with the man spreading he was doing earlier in the episode. Yep. And then they see a bunch of DVDs. Deathstrike makes sure to point out that she prefers Laserdisc. Correct me if I'm wrong. Laserdiscs were technically supposed to be better technology, but DVDs got adopted because of, I think it was Sony that like put all their investment into them, right?
I was gonna say porn, but like so I was actually going to ask kind of something similar, because like I assumed, because Deathstrike's background both being like Japanese in the time period of like a lot of technological innovation, and her father being like this genius or whatever, if she just knew, it's kind of like was it like beta tapes versus VHS, where like
beta was the better technology technically.
So I was wondering, because I never actually got to use Laserdisc a whole lot, like maybe a couple times at school, so like I assumed that was a call out to that Laserdisc was a better technology, but like I'd always heard that the physical medium that pornography adopted is what would like blow up, which is kind of, I love that, because it's like, you know, sex work being the oldest job or whatever. So I don't know, like, yeah, that makes sense, because it's the same way with like Blu-ray and stuff, right?
So Laserdiscs were better than VHS, but according to the garbage Google AI, film buffs prefer Laserdisc. That is the difference.
I would assume that it's more quality because it's just like physical space, because the DVD videos are compressed because of the physical size of them. So even if it's a similar technology, having a bigger size, because the Laserdiscs were bigger than a record, I think.
They were like 12 inches,
Yeah, so like that, just having physical space, and then it was two-sided, I think, most times. So like having that much space and data was, I would assume that meant that they were like less compressed or not compressed or something.
So it was a more film-like image because of its analog format. They feel like it was a softer, more natural picture.
Got it. So
we learned something.
It's showing.
Now, Rod,
I did.
We're not gonna play the game.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, there was a couple, like, you know, Winter Soldier, Marrow was on there, right? Kane.
Yeah. So quick version of it. New Rockstars has the breakdown. Some highlights from it. Having X-23 at the beginning. Love it. I think we're going to get her before the series wraps up, genuinely. Ajax, who was the villain in the first Deadpool movie.
Yeah, Francis.
Yes. Yep. who also is one of the most annoying cards in Marvel Snap, and I'm so happy that I kicked that habit and don't play that game anymore.
Oh, nice.
Aurora from Alpha Flight, another Alpha Flight reference in this episode. Phantom X, who is Weapon 13, who I just love that character in the comics. He's just like an utter like douchebag piece of shit. Silver Fox, who we talked about, who was in the previous Weapon X lives and DVDs. Weapon 6, which is not the Weapon X program, like as a member of Team X, but that's the experiment that turned Luke Cage into Power Man, basically.
Okay.
Which I believe was retconned and not the original writing. They eventually did that to add more importance to it. The one that nobody seems to have an answer to is what Ant is referring to.
I kind of assume Ant-Man, but that sounds weird, right, for Weapon X?
The most I could find in that was that apparently through some of the retcons that Hank Pym had like some work to do with the Weapon X program, similar to how like Weapon 1 was Captain America, but yeah.
Or if it's that weird, then that's another story seed for later.
Mm-hmm. And then the last one that you mentioned was Marrow, who at this point in the story is dead because she was in Banshee's arms on Genosha. So
Genosha. Yeah, at this point, so many characters have died. I feel like there has to be a reset, right? That's what they're leading up to.
Whether it's a Necrosha story, a Apocalypse bringing certain people back story, I don't think they could do House of M yet. I think that is... Yeah. It's too broad reaching a Marvel story to use that as a way to bring them at. But yeah, people need to start coming back to life.
There's so many dead characters.
I mean, dude, we haven't even gotten to the episode yet that shows Colossus grieving over Magic, who is implied to be dead.
Yeah.
We're on the 5th episode of a 9-episode season, and a major X-Men and his major X-Men dead sister have not been shown yet.
Yep.
So.
Fun.
But they decide to watch, and you see this on the DVD, that all of the Team X candidates, because of their healing capabilities and stuff like that, they always ended up like remembering. And that was the biggest problem with them as recruits, is eventually they were going to break through their brainwashing, and they find a crashed ship, and there's a single brood inside of it that's dead, but they use its brain matter, and they realize it's like a hive mind kind of scenario that could help solve the loyalty solution. And then they killed a character that I candidly do not give a shit about, but a lot of people were not happy that they killed Maggot.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that character.
So the blue character that they injected the stuff into him and he turned into the brood, he is a character that I never had an affinity for, and they just offed that character so quickly.
Oh, wow. I just assumed that was just a stock character to blow someone up. I didn't know that was an actual... That's so funny. Okay, so there's more deaths in this episode than I thought.
So Maggot, I don't remember when he came out, but I do remember part of him is he has an external digestive system, which are 2 maggots that come out, and their names are Eenie and Meanie. So like Eenie, Meanie, Miny, Mo.
Yeah. Ugh. That's gross.
Yep. He has a big freak out, and then, Dr. Cornelius, who is alongside the other doctor, whose name is Truett Hudson. I did find out that guy's name, because we used to just call him, like, the professor. And he was like, for the sake of my staff, that overweighs my curiosity. And then the DVD stops. Sabretooth is just kind of becoming a tech bro, because he proceeds to just be like hardcore.
Yeah.
Lights go out, and then you start to get all the moments with the brood in the ducts, and one pops out, and I couldn't think of a better way to phrase this. He just mind-fucks, or Morph gets mind-fucked by one of the brood for like half a second.
Because Morph even makes a comment later. It's like, at least buy me a drink first, right?
Yes, that is the comment on it. But through the inappropriate mind melding technique, we do find out that he gets an understanding of the brood for like that half second of, they're leaving bodies behind. They are only specifically trying to merge upward because they want to get the powers of those that they're merging with. So
I wonder if that, like, because they made a point to have Sabretooth say he was better than Wolverine, but then they were like, Wolverine's the best of us. I was like, well, did Sabretooth just agree to that and like move on? Or would it have been Sabretooth if he was on the other team or something? I don't know.
Well, I think because Sabretooth is just always jealous of Logan because, you know, he was feral first and had all these like animalistic powers and wanted the adamantium process. But I believe the adamantium process doesn't get used on him because Wolverine broke out of the facility. So.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he was hyper focused earlier on, yeah, look, your shiny metal claws aren't here anymore kind of scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. They have like their quick little save moment, and then, you know, there's what did that put? Was that Wolverine realization? Something like that? That sounds...
Yeah, well, they realized that the Brew's trying to get Wolverine...
Right, because they want the reproduction. Yeah.
And then it gets interrupted by Maverick radioing, once again, like a horror, like the Thing moment.
Yep. So they go into the large center room that they reveal Omega Red in the holding cell. So the last we saw Omega Red, he was in that bunker in Russia. Was that him just getting released from that bunker in the season finale?
Oh, see, I thought he was smashed under the submarine. That's the last time I remember him.
No, because he was in he was in one of the shots in the finale of season 1.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. So I assumed by seeing him here that they were going to try to.
He got out of his containment because Magneto shut down the world.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yes. Okay, yeah. In 97.
Yes.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so they probably recaptured him to try to get him into the Brood thing or something.
Which just tells me that like this dude is like the most powerful thing that everybody's scared shitless of, but then at the same time, like he's very easy for people to keep recapturing.
Right.
Like, and I know, you know, some people really like Omega Red, but why is he so good at just getting recaptured right now?
Yeah, it's like Magneto in the movies.
Yeah. So Sabretooth wants to just like straight up kill him. At that point, Maverick jumps out and he starts doing the game over reference, which does come from Aliens.
Oh yeah, and he has the broken mask. He kind of looks like one of the Voltron characters.
Like one of the pilots.
Yeah, because he's like through the eye. I don't know. He just kind of reminded me because I've never seen him without the mask on.
Yep. And then you get a handful of like jump scares with the vents being open, stuff like that. And then a Brood converted Wolverine stabs Maverick like through the back pretty brutally.
Yeah. So was that supposed to be Wolverine got taken afterwards, or was Sabretooth right and he got infected earlier? I guess we don't know, right?
I think that's open to interpretation. Because if he got like bit or something earlier, like was it beating his healing factor eventually kind of scenario?
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think it's more likely he got bit earlier rather than like while he's down there with Maverick kind of scenario.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then the reveal shot there is actually a famous cover, Uncanny X-Men number 234 from 1988, which is that big Wolverine with the Brood. And they did a great job in this episode of having two iconic covers, like directly one-to-one referenced on it. So, more Brood pop up. Wolverine tries to bite Morph, and that's when Morph turns into Guardian from Alpha Flight, and that's what stops, the durability is what prevents him from getting bit through on there.
No, I didn't put that together.
Yep. Then Wolverine throws Sabretooth into the Omega Red bubble. Omega Red pops out and just starts mass murdering the Brood. And Morph turns into Deadpool to get Sabretooth and Deathstrike out one of the doors on there. I think it's really interesting that they are keeping it the quiet, voiceless version of Deadpool, and because you have your quippy character of Morph playing a quippy character of Deadpool, but then none of the personality came out there. So,
yeah, I guess because he Morph just turned into Deadpool to have the agility. I guess I don't know.
Here's the thing: I don't actually know why he turned into Deadpool there.
Yeah,
outside of references, yeah, which was obviously a direct reference to. I forgot the name of the specific episode. And I didn't write it down, but it was one of those episodes where at the tail end you get like caught up with Wolverine and Morph for like 4 seconds, where Wolverine is trying to find Morph when he's been obsessed by Sinister, kind of scenario. Because there is a later reference of like, you know, when Sinister had me, you didn't give up on me. So I think that was like that little like touch back to that one. I want to say it was Captive Hearts, but I could be super wrong about that one.
Yeah.
So, yeah. They get out this door, they go through 2, and Sabretooth and Deathstrike are like, forget this, we are out of here. Morph shoots the door to get them to stay, and Sabretooth proceeds to say how whipped Morph is.
Yeah.
And that's when Morph turns into the Silver Samurai just to swipe at Sabretooth with a sword. There's no other reason for doing so, right?
And that was the first time I think I saw an example of what you explained to me about Morph using their body to turn into the props.
Mm-hmm.
Because when the sword stabs in the wall, it just like splashes, kind of.
Yeah. There was a really inappropriate joke at Scum and Villainy last night with Sierra, because Sierra is just as much of a perv as we are, so we're just going to leave that there.
Okay.
But yeah, because he had the sword as Deadpool and then the sword again as Silver Samurai. So, Deathstrike is like, yep, you're finally seeing the real Wolverine, and you know, Morph is like, well, we have to go and we have to save him, because if they infect him, the whole world is going to be taken over in a week. And everybody's like, all right, well, I guess we're going to have to give him what he wants. How are we going to lure him into the adamantium system? And Morph has the great idea of impersonating Scott Summers in the most douchey way possible for a Scott Summers impersonation. So
this is my most favorite non-Storm scene in X-Men 97.
Because he's doing like the walk like this and like all the stuff he's spouting out.
Yeah, because Cyclops, he's acting like we make fun of Cyclops for being, you know, in the real world. And also, I kind of wondered, like, I don't know if somebody asked JP this, if what is it Ray that's the voice of Cyclops?
So JP described it as there's nothing better than listening to Ray Chase do Cyclops as Morph. Yes.
So but I was kind of wondering did they have JP do a take of that for Ray to impersonate? Because it was so good as JP's version of Morph, you know what I mean? The way he phrased it, and this is not me saying this is accurate, but just my interpretation of it, is that it was Ray knowing Morph so well from working with JP that it was him just giving his own, like, if I was going to mock JP, this is how I would do it. That's so great. I love that.
Yeah.
That was such a fun scene. Like I watched that on like a couple times repeat because it was just so funny.
It was great, and it's like, you know, all the very stereotypical stuff like duty calls, you know, your commanding officer, like all these things that are just like so condescending, and
yeah,
it's the stuff that I actually imagine Havoc saying, like, because he's like trying to be the boss kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he is like getting ready. He's like, don't make me tell Jean, she's gonna owe me extra smooches and stuff like that.
He just starts hugging himself. Like,
yeah. Wolverine pops up from behind, starts coming at him, and then Sabretooth immediately says fuck the plan and starts stabbing Wolverine from behind, and it does basically nothing to him because of his healing factor right now.
Yeah, and he's half alien now.
The Brood start attacking Lady Deathstrike. You see Sabretooth get thrown into this explosive stuff, as they're just mayhem is basically taking place. Deathstrike is opening the door to the pod, and then you see what I think is the most gory thing of the entire series so far, which is Sabretooth just like having muscles and like blood exposed all over the place.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. So before the healing kicks in.
It looked like the animated version of I know I've described it in the past, the Wolverine Origins video game, where parts of Wolverine get blown off and then like are animated into reconstituting and stuff like that. I was shocked to see that level of gore in the show. Like, it was one thing when it was like, I mean, I guess we already saw Kane get impaled by a tree, so.
Yeah, but we did see like the insides. Like, it was like, yeah, kind of transparent almost. It was kind of crazy. I forgot about that.
Yep. Then I lost my spot.
Morph is trying to talk Logan down.
Sabretooth gore.
You didn't leave me.
Yep.
I was like, yeah. He's like, I have to try for you because you didn't leave me behind. Episode 1 of X-Men '92, and
that's exactly what he says too. He's like, you remember that first episode where you didn't want to leave me and Scott was a dick? That's why you punched Scott in the stomach and made one of the most famous memes from the show.
I was watching. I mentioned earlier that sausage. Was it Sausage Party? I can't remember. The Seth Rogen anime movie. The TV show Foodtopia. I started watching the second season, and one of the characters keeps saying, like, you never did this last season. And everybody looks at him, he's like, Summer. Nice. But it's an ongoing joke. The whole thing is like next season, which will be winter.
So Wolverine does stab Morph. As he stabs Morph, he turns into Jean, which is the one thing that throws Wolverine off, which allows Deathstrike to run up. And I've been trying to figure out what video game this move is from, but it's running up from behind, doing a handstand on their shoulders to like grab their head, doing a forward flip to throw them. If anybody can remember what video game that move is specifically from, like, it's been driving me crazy for 2 days.
I mean, I'm guessing it's not from this game, but Kung Lao in Mortal Kombat does a version of that in the game. I'm sure there's another game that did it before.
It might be Kung Lao. I don't know, but I feel like it's more of like a brawler fighter as opposed to a one-on-one fighter. Because I think it was specifically running up from behind to do it, but I could be wrong. It might be Kung Lao. So
I don't know. There's a throw move that he does that's kind of like that, but I feel like that's not a unique thing to him. Someone else probably did it before.
So she tosses him in there. Morph and Deathstrike hold him in the cell as Sabretooth turns on the adamantium, and at the same time, Omega Red like busts through a door. I felt like the animation for him busting through the door, especially because it like moves into slow motion, felt like his special from Marvel vs. Capcom. Like his like tentacles flying around is like the Brood are just like splattered all over and everything like that. So, and then we get the final cameo of the episode, which still got the loudest reaction yesterday watching it with a live group of people, of him turning into Spider-Man to go for like his agility and everything like that. Although we have talked about his power is not as strong when he's impersonating somebody else. So he gets quickly snagged by Omega Red, and I'm assuming it just means he doesn't have that good of a spider sense.
Yeah, well, he doesn't know spider sense, right? Because that's like a intellectual thing. I don't know.
Sure.
Hey, we don't know the rules of this.
Yeah, they're really playing it loose with what these rules are. More broods start popping up. Omega Red is just like just going ape shit across the board, and then that's where you see in the pod, Wolverine's claws pop out, cuts himself out, just downs a bunch of the Brood, and then it's the reference to the infamous Wolverine #1 cover, where he's actually doing like even the finger point like this, and it's "I'm back, baby." I love that they recorded 2 versions of that line, because in the episode it's "I'm back," and in the trailer it's "We're back."
We're back, yeah. And
yeah,
I have to go back and look and see if the Brood blood is on his claws too, because that would have been a giveaway, I think.
In the
I feel like in the trailer they were just metal. They were just metal claws.
I feel like they were just metal too.
Yeah.
Then you see that there is an explosive tank that is like ready to go. Everybody starts to run out, and Wolverine basically shoves Omega Red to where this column is going to collapse and land on him. And as they're getting into this escape jet, random Quinjet, whatever the hell we want to call it, the explosive starts, and they made sure to animate like even one of the Brood that's on like the windshield, like having itself like blown and like scorched off and everything like that. So, and then there's a big explosion.
Yeah. Everybody escapes.
Well, so you see specifically the DVD melts, which I love that it was like very clearly this was a burned DVD. This wasn't even like, you know, it was literally like the blank disc that we would buy at, you know, Circuit City to record our own stuff on.
It makes sense it'd be that too, because to make like on a regular DVD, that'd be like a pressing process. That'd be crazy to do. Like,
yeah. And then you see Maverick dead. Here's the thing. He has enhanced healing. He is nowhere near as durable as like Wolverine is. Like, he can't like lose an arm and be okay, but he does have a healing factor. I don't believe he's dead. I think Kane is dead, and I'm glad Kane is dead, and I never want Kane to come back ever. But I do think Maverick survived this, and in the future there will be a plot of like he's coming back for revenge on Wolverine for this.
Yeah, his villain origin story. That's a good point. I didn't think about that, because I actually didn't know healing was one of his powers. So
it changes because he also, one of the other agent names was like Weapon Zero or Agent Zero, which is an alias that sometimes Maverick has used there too in the comics. So I don't think Maverick is dead. I think it's possible that Maggot is still alive, even though everybody's like definitely under the implication they're dead from that DVD. I definitely think Kane is dead. I think Maverick survived. So.
Okay, yeah, that'd be cool.
Yep. And then we have like this really awkward exchange between Morph and Wolverine on the plane, and it's essentially like spit it out, you know, and Morph is like, if I have to, then I already know what the answer is on it. JP delivers like one of the best lines where Wolverine is confirmed like he just thinks he's a weapon and a monster, and that's, or you know, an animal, and that's what he needs to be. And JP's delivery of like, does that make you sad? Because that makes me sad. It's that moment, and then the just awkward looks from everybody but Sabretooth, because who gives a fuck about Sabretooth at this point, right? But it's like Deathstrike and Morph, like there's just sadness all around. So
I kind of took Deathstrike's look at Morph as like,
I've been there.
You know, Tomo, like, yeah, girl.
Yeah. Exactly. No. So yeah, that is the end of the episode, and I don't know how this transitions into Danger next episode.
Danger.exe. Yeah.
Yes, the best file naming structure for Google Drives. So
yeah, that's great. Well, I was even saying just for my computer too, like on a Macs, love having Windows extensions as file names.
Yep. So,
but yeah. I love. I think it was a fun episode. I love episodes like this that make the world feel bigger. I think it was like well done. I just, if I had a wish list thing, I wish there was more episodes so that like he would get the claws back later. But you know, it's fine.
Yeah,
we got Wolverine back.
Same. Yeah, I think it's a great Wolverine episode. I think that I also love like the internet decided like this is where they're going to worry about like, but the Brood are around so many years earlier before 1997. It's weird that they waited till now to debut them. The timeline doesn't matter, guys. Like, even in comics, the timeline doesn't fucking matter. So why are you worried about what year it is that they're debuting them here? Especially like, we've been given no indication that the Brood have already been on Earth, so it's not like it's like countering an original thing. If anything, it made the colony make more sense because they were like the toned down version of the Brood, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like actually acknowledging it's similar but different. So
yeah, it's an open timeline. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like it. I am sad we're like this is literally passing the halfway point already, which is a wild thing to fucking say.
Yeah, we have 4 more episodes.
Dude, if they don't come out yearly moving forward, I'm just gonna start crying. Like if they lied to us on that one, it's gonna be bad.
I think I think the plan is to go yearly. The only reason is if there's some other like, you know, catastrophe, you know, strikes or production delays or whatever, but it feels like feels like it's on the move because it's been out there that like the team has been working on season 3 and season 4 got greenlit and stuff, so it feels like the parts are moving, you know. The rumor out there was a Brad Winterbaum. Someone said they wanted to see 10 seasons of this.
Yeah, Brad said they wanted to see 10 seasons, which is wild.
Which is why I said like there has to be some reset, because how the fuck are you gonna do 10 seasons if like half the characters are dead by season 3, you know, like
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I want more of it. I'm sad. Rod is going to sacrifice next week, and we're going to record on Wednesday morning before I head down to Comic-Con, so that'll be an interesting recording.
That'll be fine. It might be a little hot. I usually have my AC on it then, but we'll figure it out.
Fine. It's just you sweating through the episode. You're just getting wetter and wetter the entire time. So... on that note, thank you guys for joining us. If you have any thoughts, make sure you drop them into the comments for the episode on YouTube, Spotify, or the official Instagram posts, which Rod has been cutting a lot of those for us, so much appreciated. And if you like what you heard, we would both appreciate a rating on the podcast app of your choosing. Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify, YouTube Podcasts. I don't actually know if we're on Amazon Music anymore. I feel like we are.
Sure. Let us know.
I know Apple Podcasts and Spotify work. At least those work.